All right, welcome back. So the I last left you, I was building up these warehouses. Let me pause it for a second. Um, so I was bringing in cloth from Cain to Paris so that I can start making evening attire. I've got silk being brought into warehouse 1 from way down south. I'm trying to build up Dijon so that I can put in a perfumery since they have lavender here. So um, let's take a look and see how things are going. First of all, I want to check out. So the silk farm has expanded a little. It was like, 8 before. It's up to 12, are producing 1.2 a week. This warehouse has chocked full, so it's got plenty of sugar beets, lavender, and olives, so that's good. That that warehouse is ready to make some perfume. This warehouse is doing well as well. It is building up the silk. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and yeah, I'm going to go ahead and change this, demolish it, and then I'm going to put in a luxury tailor. So I've replaced it with a luxury tailor. And then I'm going to change this and I'm going to add luxury, or evening attire rather, to the list. Yep, there it is. And then I'm going to create a train. It's going to take from here to, oh, actually, well, it's going to be fine because it's not going to go anywhere until I tell it to. And actually, it's what it's telling me now is like, oh yeah, you can't even do anything because you're not connected to the main line. The only line it's connected to is warehouse 5 and I guess technically warehouse 4 and this cotton farm. So nothing else. It's sort of a closed circuit. So I actually need to connect that up so that it can connect to warehouse 1 before that'll happen. So let's get this going. All right, I need to bring it up here. There we go. Let's bring this one down. So this way it's connected up. All right, so that's all good. So now let's go back to our train. We've got to find it. It's right there. Nope. All right, so we're going to go warehouse. Where was that? Warehouse 6. Now we're connected. We can go to Dijon. Okay, so warehouse 6 to Dijon. It goes along that path. Looks good. And it is going to be evening attire, no clothing, and a minimum of 8 cars. So we're going to wait till it's filled up, and it'll just sit there on the track, and as Paris makes evening attire, it'll fill up, and then eventually, once it fills, it'll head out to Dijon. So we will leave it there, and as you can see, it's right there waiting. Okay. So we've got that going. Now the problem is we need to wait for Paris to make some evening attire, and they don't have any silk. They might have some silk. Let's see. They really don't have any clothing, and they do have plenty of silk. Where's that silk coming from? I guess they're getting it from the warehouse because they are actually chocked full. So, is the warehouse bringing in? Oh, I guess the warehouse is already bringing in silk into Paris, so that's good. So because we have two trains that are bringing from Warehouse 1 into Paris, and it looks like they're already bringing in silk. It's just at this point we need clothing. The clothing is coming from Kane. And there's one. We've only got one going, so I'm actually going to clone it and put a second train there. So that way it can start... and as you can see here, I've expanded it. It's just the... it's going to take a while because we're not getting enough cloth in. So let's look at the cloth line. We've got 3 lines there. I think those are good. And we do have, I mean, they're making it, so the trains are bringing in, wool as fast as they can. So I think this setup now looks pretty good. You can see we've already got 1 car of evening attire. My guess is that there's not a lot of demand for evening attire. Actually, it doesn't look like there's any demand at all for evening attire, so that's good. So as they produce excess, you know, as they receive the clothing from Kane, they'll produce the excess evening attire, and then this train will fill up. It's just a slow process. Once we get it going and we produce a little bit more of it, I might duplicate that train so that we have a couple going on. Let's get back down to Dijon. So Dijon still isn't growing. It's got some wood right there, so... And so it's got wood. It looks like it could use meat and cloth. I'm not going to give it any cloth just yet, but somebody probably has excess meat. Let's see. Not Paris. How about Le Havre? They don't have excess meat. Now they do have, well, let's see. Does Kane have excess meat? They don't really have excess meat either. Are those... Oh, both of those are going. Okay, I don't want to expand that too much just yet. Let's see. Le Mans is... So let's see. So Kane, you are receiving pigs. Oh, the big question is the grain. I guess you're not getting enough grain in to make... let's see. So Anya... So Lille is right here. Eventually we're going to need access to Lille in order to deliver the perfume. But we're not there just yet. Now, oh, Dijon is growing. Okay, so they've now grown in Dijon. Let's build our either the distillery or the perfumery. I'm not really sure which of those. Let's do the perfumery for now. Where is the perfumery? There we go. Let's throw that in there for now. I'm going to put it in between the two. Okay, so now of course the perfumery doesn't make anything until without alcohol. It does have plenty of lavender available, but it doesn't have any alcohol available. The bad thing is it has plenty of sugar beets available to make alcohol. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to take over the bakery, buy it. Of course we have to, hopefully we don't get outbid. So I'm going to buy this bakery and I'm going to turn it into a distillery. That's going to be my best bet. Perfect. So we are going to demolish it. Sorry, bakery. And we are going to put in a distillery. Where did I put the... Oh, I think I put it right over here. So I'm going to put the distillery kind of next to the perfumery. Why not? Oh. All right. Production of pastries. All right. So now we're looking at it. Now we're producing perfume because we are able to produce both the alcohol from the distillery and the perfume from the perfumery. So we're taking the sugar beets, turning it into alcohol, the alcohol with the lavender into perfume. So we've got everything we need right here. And if you look at Warehouse 2, there's plenty of lavender, plenty of sugar beets available. So this is actually going to ramp up production of perfume relatively quickly. Now what I am going to do, because I don't want the perfume to, I don't want to max out production. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my little tricky part thing, and I'm going to connect the two like that, and I'm going to create a train just from Dijon to the warehouse, and it's going to take over perfume once it's full. I'll wait until it's full. So it's going to take a train load of perfume over. Now I have to set up perfume here as one of the items that it stores. But as it makes perfume, it'll sit there and run it right over into the warehouse. Now once I get access to Lille, I'll be able to take that perfume from the warehouse and ship it right over to Lille. And Lille is, again, it's right up here, but as you can see, let's look at the territory. I don't have access to Lille yet. I have to gain access to Picardy before I can access Lille. And as you can see, I don't have enough money. So it's going to cost me 2,099,200 francs to unlock this area. I don't have that money yet, but it's all good because we're getting there. We've got our first delivery out of Paris, or out of Warehouse 6, going to Dijon, full of evening attire. I'm actually going to clone that train for now and get a second one going. So things are looking good. So the luxury tailor in Paris is producing evening attire. Basically, as soon as the goods come in. The problem is, getting clothing. That's the limiting factor. The limiting factor for Kane to get clothing is getting enough wool in. But they are producing it, so they're loading up that train as fast as they can. This one is also waiting to be loaded up. I want to be careful because I don't want to get in a situation where I have a bunch of trains sitting here waiting and they can't fill anything up because they don't have the goods in order to produce those goods. So I do want to be cognizant of that limitation. So I'm just kind of looking here. What's this train doing? He's broke down. Alright, how are you doing over here? So they've got plenty of wool. They're probably producing fabric at full capacity. As you can see here, it's grown, so I could actually add something here as well. Now, ideally what I would have done, since it's making fabric, I would also make the clothing in Le Mans as well. But I'm not going to do that just yet because because I already have the system in Kane set up. It's working. It's working well enough, so I'm not gonna I'm not going to worry about that too much. Now, remember, we can come back here. Remember, I filled up this warehouse with sugar beets, and that's because I was going to plan to replace this with a distillery. I'm still going to do that, so let's do that. Let's put in a distillery because they could, you know, they could still drink the alcohol even if they don't. Even if we're not going to use it for perfume, they could at least still start making alcohol, maybe ship some over to Le Mans, as Le Mans needs alcohol too. So, but I'm not going to worry about shipping the excess alcohol over to Dijon at this point. It's very far, and Dijon is able to make both. Oh, let's follow the line. You know, Dijon is making both, so it's not an issue. Let's see what our warehouse is looking like. So the warehouse still has plenty of sugar beets, plenty of lavender, and as you can see, it's starting to fill up with perfume as well. So that is good. And we've got this one. This is probably our perfume one. Is that right? Nope, warehouse 2. Oh, that's probably our perfume train right there. Yep, so it's unloading a second load of perfume into here. Once this fills up, I probably want to make sure I get those start shifting to Lille. But again, as you can see, I need to access this one first. Cost me 2 million. I don't even know what Nord-Pas-de-Calais is going to cost me because I don't have access to that territory yet. So I have to access this, and then eventually access that, and then I'll be able to ship the perfume to Lille. But let's look at our task list. As we can see, 8 loads of evening attire have already been shipped to Dijon, so that's good. I've delivered that. More are going to come along the way. The 16 express trains. So this is that's my my biggest nightmare, because express trains are notoriously difficult to attain. Oh, actually, sorry about that. I wanted to look at my research. I haven't really done a very good job of that. So let's fill some of these in. Actually, so this is our best. So we actually, it looks like we have access to the best trains at this point. Okay, so let's see if we can get that one too. So the 2 best trains are available for express and for freight. So this is actually good. I'm going to replace, is that the one I want to? Actually, let me just take another quick look. So the express train is the New York City American, and then the 4D is our best freight. So I'm going to replace, now this is the 4D, so that was our freight. We're going to replace, not all, we're going to replace, here, we're going to do it this way. Oh, I certainly don't have enough money for that. Don't have enough money for that. Okay. Let's see, that's our express. Now, I do know I have some passenger and mail. There's just 2. So I'm going to replace those with the passengers and mail. That way those will at least be express trains. Now, eventually what I'll do is I'll set up a bunch of passenger trains between all the cities, and then I will change those all to those express. That way they'll be express. But I'm kind of waiting a little bit because I want to make sure that I let's see, do I have a Paris to Dijon? I don't have a Paris to Dijon train yet, so I'm going to create a I'm going to make it this express. We're going to go Paris to Dijon. And make it passenger and mail only. There we go. And then I'll probably do the same thing in reverse. So a Dijon to Paris. And make it passenger and mail only. So we got those two. All right. So we're just about have enough money in order to open up the next territory. There we go. So this one, buy that area. Boom. Okay, so now we have access to this. So that's good, because two things. I can go ahead and, actually, let's do this look real fast. Lille, says I cannot gain access to that at the moment. Why not? How can I deliver perfume to Lille if I can't gain access to it? So the next thing I'm going to do is I'll create a station in Amiens, and then I'll create some passenger lines going to Le Havre and to Paris, and we'll make those express. So hopefully that'll be relatively straightforward. I gotta wait till I got enough money to build our station. So I think we'll do it right about, it doesn't really matter, but we'll do it there. We'll do it right like that, actually. So this one I'm going to come out like that. Alright, can't build that just yet, but 93,000, that'll come quickly. Construct our maintenance building. Alright, got that. Alright, 72,000, just about there. So let's see, how are things looking here? Oh, there's another train headed out, so that's good. How are those looking? Let's take a look. Got that one heading out. This one's already on its way, so that's good. So actually having two means that we're able to fill those up before we get the next one back. So I theoretically could put a third one on there, but I'll wait for the moment. Let's see. See, both of these are in Caen at their warehouse waiting to bring in goods. Okay, let's go back and get this. Sometimes I get going on other things and then I forget to come back to the task I was working on. Let's get these built. Alright, so that looks good. Let's put in an express train between Amiens and Paris. Make that a passenger mail only. And we'll put in a second one between Paris and Amiens. Make that passenger and mail only. At this point, I'm not going to worry too much about delivering goods. I don't need Amiens to grow. I just need, at this point, I really need express trains to be in there. And I don't want to slow it down with any with too much. Just looking at what's the best way to get into Le Havre. I could, well, I don't know. We'll think about it. Let's go back and look. So that's all doing well. Huh, why isn't it letting me? At what point does it give me access to Lil? Because my task is deliver 50 loads of perfume to Lil, and I can't get access to it. Maybe I need to deliver the 50 loads of evening attire. Usually it doesn't. Like in this case, I could do any of these tasks independently of each other. I don't know why it's not letting me get access, or even telling me, or maybe it's a time thing. I don't know. But we'll continue doing what we're doing. Okay, so you can see this one has already become an express train. This one probably will once it completes a route. Yeah, so it's got 2 routes completed, so that's good. So our task now shows 2 2 express trains have been deployed at the same time. But the problem is any other express trains I have are probably being slowed down by other things. That does remind me, I want to put in some supply towers because I have been forgetting to put these in. So I'm going to put a bunch in. Let's see, we got one there, we got some there. Because failing to put a supply tower in will slow the trains, and then that will cause them to lose their express status, which is never a good thing. Okay. I think that's good. Let me take a look. Oh yeah, let's take a look here. Do we have a... So this one is not express. And that one is not express either, so at this point, I'm actually going to manage that. We're going to get a new locomotive. I'm going to make that an express. And then, and then I'm going to make this passenger and mail only. I'm also going to make this one passenger and mail only. And then we're going to make this we're going to make a new locomotive. That was loud. Sorry about that. All right. So I think that's good. I could get rid of this freight train bringing wood. That way it's only passenger and mail. That would probably, you know, because at this point, actually, that's probably a good idea. To manage that train, we are going to delete it. I hate deleting it when it's right in the middle of a delivery, but I sort of need to do that, so. Now my big problem here too is I have so many trains on this. If I put an express train here, it is not going to be express. And I know that. So I'm a little cautious about that. Alright, so I'm going to make this passenger and mail only. And then I'm going to, actually, wait. Yeah, that passenger and mail only. So these two are passenger and mail only. All right, I got cut off there. So passenger or warehouse 1 is bringing goods up to Le Havre. I think I'm going to delete those for now. I think that's my best bet, is to delete those. I hate doing it, but I kind of want these to just be express trains. And I can't remember which one was the express train. Yep, that one is. Or the faster one. So let's replace that. Give it a. Because I'll never meet that task of 16 express trains at once unless I make them all, you know, passenger and mail only. Yeah, so both of those are passenger and mail. So those two should turn into express. These two will turn into express. I do have this. There should be a couple here. Le Mans to Paris, Le Mans to Paris, Le Mans to Paris. Warehouse 1 to Le Mans. We're going to delete that train. Sorry, guys. All right, so what is it bringing into Paris? I don't think there's anything, so I think I can go ahead and make all of these passenger and mail only. All right, are all of those passenger and mail only? Nope, this one was not. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and make sure it has a supply tower. It does have one there. I'm going to put another one. It's not going to hurt to have an extra one. Alright, so now I'm going to replace all of these with so it looks like all three of those have been let's take a look. NYC American, NYC American, NYC American. Yep, so all three of those are right. So so we're back down to one express train, of course. Let me take a quick look at the warehouse, see what the warehouse is looking like. It is filling up with perfume, which is good. I would love to deliver all of that delightfully smelling perfume up to Lille, except I don't have access to it. Deliver 50 loads of perfume to Lille. And you can see they have that private depot, takes in perfume. I cannot gain access to the area at this moment. I have no idea what's going on. Anyway, I will stop that. I might do a bit of research on the internet and see why I can't access Lille just yet. I'm not that worried about it because I still have plenty of time and I've got the perfume available. So once it opens up, I'll be able to just ship it up there, you know, lickety split. But I don't know how to gain access to it. I don't know if do I need to access another territory first and then get it? Do I need to build up the area in you know, the one right next to it? I'm not sure. So I'm going to try to figure that out. But for now, I will stop it and save, and then I will come back and after I've done some research and figure out how to get to Lille. All right, till then, au revoir.